American Indian Movement, otherwise known as AIM, was an organization that was formed in Minneapolis to protest against the injustices that American Indian people went through. AIM, the American Indian Movement, was formed for three main reasons.
Their first reason was child removal. Child removal was one of the main reasons that AIM was founded. The removal and even borderline kidnapping of countless children from their families on reservations was a serious problem. So when AIM was founded, they were determined to find a way to stop it. One of AIM's tactics in ending child removal was to inform the public. They did so with hard facts and statistics that could impact families across the US on an emotional level. Some of these facts included: one of three indigenous children were placed with white families, children didn't have access to good quality education, basically had to be they also had to be stripped naked, cut their hair off, and they were put into places that they were unfamiliar with, which caused them to feel violated and confused. Also, in 1960, there were over 100,000 Native American children in about 500 boarding schools across the United States of America. Another example of Native American children being taken from the communities and adopted into white families. These truly horrible acts of aggression against Native Americans only helped to fuel AIM in its conquest for the end of child removal.
Their second reason was police violence. Similarly to the Black Panther Party, during the Black Power movement, the American Indian movement was also facing police brutality. They were unjustly treated, and AIM was formed in order to get justice and put a stop to it. Both the BPP and AIM were filmed with police brutality, their, the police brutalizing their people, and spread awareness from it. AIM partnered with Soap Patrol, which was a group of Black resistance. In mainly Minneapolis, it was highly prevalent that the AIM members would fight back to police and retaliate with the Soap Patrol by recording. Zachary Verhills in Omaha, a city near Minneapolis, was unjustly killed by police and was beaten and tasered multiple times. Though there was a video evidence of police abusing him, he was still diagnosed with excited delirium, drug intoxication, and suicide. When indigenous people retaliate against the police, they are seen as dangerous and violent.
Their third reason was poverty. Indigenous people in America weren't getting employment due to their identity. The government focused on off-reservation indigenous people to discriminate against. They were discriminated against in their communities and just their housing in general. AIM founded one of the first urban Indian housing boards to counteract the discrimination. This board was created to allow off-reservation indigenous people to find more affordable homes. AIM also created a legal rights center, which advocated against discrimination in workplaces, health fields, and also housing.
The first three reasons transitioned into three broader and ideological points.
Their first point was the Bureau of Indian Affairs and the abolition of Indian Affairs. This was a newer point because the Indian Affairs made Native Americans seem almost not human, or not of the same species as other Americans. They wanted this to be able to seem as though they were one nation.
Broader point was to address Christianity with a convite. AIM often allied themselves with churches, but they were actively fighting against assimilationists and genocidal Christianity with other churches. Their last point were treaty rights and how the U.S. should treat them as a nation. This is the backbone of AIM as a whole. They had many treaty councils which would preserve Native culture within America since the government was actively trying to destroy them. Treaty rights were a big focus within AIM because of how the government treated them. For instance, natives were threatened with the thought of termination, which would cause an end to their reservations. Additionally, citizenship had been imposed on them without agreeing to terms. This is what sparked the fight for treaty rights.